This video will revisit a very brief video I made years ago on the case trim station I made for rifle brass. Brass stretches and flows on each firing, and eventually you have to trim it so it will still fit in the chamber. Generally, only rifle brass does this to any meaningful degree. Straight case handgun cartridges like 45 ACP or 357 Magnum usually are not going to need trimming, but rifle brass like 308 Winchester or 30-06 often will. This is the Lee 3-Jaw Chuck for their zip trim device, which I don't have. It's a pretty clever little thing. It will accept just about any common cartridge you're likely to reload, from 25 ACP up to the big Weatherbys. This is a spindle adapter for it, which threads right into the base there. Note the little rubber O-ring there, that's for friction. The deeper you thread this in, the more or less rim thickness you have to account for. So if you have a very thin rim or an extractor groove at a different point, depending on individual cartridges, that's how that gets adjusted, by screwing this in or out more. That assembly then gets mounted in your power driver, like so, and then you'll have something to work against to adjust that depth for rim thickness. Here we see the trim station I built, mounted to a bench vise at the dangerously disorganized reloading table of doom. First is the basic Lee cutter attachment. Just a simple cylinder thing. All of this is mounted in a piece of scrap wood I got from the free wood bin at a builder's supply store. This is the Lee case length gauge. This particular one happens to be for 308 Winchester. These are the standard chamfer deburr tools, which you can pick up used at a gun show for $5 or $10. They last for like decades. The way it works is you take your case, which has been sized, deprimed, tumbled, and you socket that thing in there. Screwing it down to get the right tension, you see. Then trim. You can see the brass coming off. Then deburr and chamfer. Those last two operations you want to be really gentle and not take off too much metal. Now you can see that bright, shiny, freshly cut brass. Then you pop it off and get the next one. And once you get your rhythm down, you can do 4 cases a minute with this. And all you have to do to change this setup for cartridges is replace this Lee case length gauge, which are only a very few dollars for each cartridge. All you do is, you want to be careful not to mar the gauge when you do this. There. It just screws into the cutter, then you replace it with the appropriate length gauge for the cartridge. That is all. If you found this video useful, please consider a charitable donation through the PayPal button on my website. Thank you.